Welcome back to the show. We're diving deep today into data-driven marketing. It feels like everywhere you look these days, someone's talking about using data to make their marketing better. So what exactly does it mean?
It really comes down to using information you have available to make smarter decisions about how you reach and engage your audience.
Basically taking the guesswork out of marketing.
Exactly. It's about moving from gut feelings to a more strategic approach.
And it seems like this whole data thing is becoming even more important as the marketing landscape gets more complex.
Absolutely. Think about it. Customers are bombarded with messages from all directions. To stand out, you need to really understand your audience and deliver messages that are relevant and timely.
Which brings us to another key concept we need to unpack: being customer-centric.
This is really at the heart of data-driven marketing. It's about putting the customer at the center of everything you do, understanding their needs, their preferences, their behaviors.
That makes sense. But isn't that what marketing has always been about?
You'd think so, but for a long time, many businesses focused more on the product itself, the features, the benefits, without really considering the customer's perspective.
So it's more about pushing products than building relationships.
In a way, yes. Data-driven marketing helps us shift that focus.
Can you give us an example of what a customer-centric approach looks like in practice?
Think about a company like In-N-Out Burger.
Okay, I'm listening.
They've built a loyal following by focusing on what their customers truly value: fresh ingredients, a simple menu, and consistent quality.
It's not about constantly launching new products or chasing the latest trends.
It's about understanding your core audience and delivering on their expectations.
And I bet they use data to track customer preferences and make sure they're staying true to those core values.
Absolutely. Data provides the insights you need to understand your customers at a deeper level.
So instead of just guessing what they want, you're actually listening to what they're telling you through their behaviors and their feedback.
Exactly. And that's incredibly powerful.
Now, let's talk about the Marketing Information System, or MIS. This is a term that gets thrown around a lot, but it can be a bit confusing.
It sounds complex, but it's really just a system for collecting, organizing, and analyzing data.
So basically, it's the engine that powers data-driven marketing.
You could say that.
But I imagine it can be overwhelming to figure out what data to collect and how to use it effectively.
That's why a well-designed MIS is crucial. It helps you strike a balance between the information you want, the information you need, and what's feasible to gather and analyze.
So it's not about collecting every single piece of data you can get your hands on.
No, it's about being strategic and focusing on the data that will actually help you make better decisions.
It's like a detective gathering clues.
I like that analogy.
You're looking for the pieces of information that will help you solve the mystery of what your customers want and how to reach them.
And the beauty of an MIS is that it can pull data from all sorts of sources: website traffic, social media engagement, purchase history, customer surveys. It gives you a holistic view of your customer.
Speaking of all this data collection, it raises some interesting questions about privacy and ethics.
Absolutely. That's something we can't overlook.
With so much information available, it's crucial to use it responsibly and transparently.
Customers need to understand what data you're collecting and how you're using it.
And they should have the power to opt out if they're not comfortable.
Exactly. Building trust is essential.
So it seems like data-driven marketing is a balancing act. You need to gather information to understand your customers, but you also need to respect their privacy and be transparent about your practices.
It's a delicate balance for sure.
All right, we've covered a lot of ground here, from the evolution of marketing to the importance of being customer-centric and the role of the MIS in gathering and analyzing data. But how does all of this translate into real-world marketing campaigns?
That's a great question. And that's exactly what we're going to explore next.
Stay tuned.
So let's dive into some real-world examples to see how companies are using data to drive their marketing. One company that immediately comes to mind is Amazon.
They're like the poster child for data-driven marketing.
Exactly. They've built their entire business model around using data to understand and anticipate customer needs.
And it seems like they're getting pretty good at it. I swear, every time I go on their website, they're recommending products I didn't even know I wanted.
That's the power of personalization. Amazon collects a massive amount of data on your browsing history, your purchase history, the things you've liked and disliked, and even how long you spend looking at certain products.
So they're not just tracking what I buy, but how I shop.
Exactly. And they use all that information to create a unique profile for each customer. which allows them to deliver incredibly targeted product recommendations and marketing messages.
So it's not just about showing me products I've looked at before.
It's about predicting what I might be interested in based on my past behavior and preferences.
It's kind of creepy, but also impressive.
I know what you mean. It's a bit like they're reading our minds.
But hey, if it helps me discover new products and makes my shopping experience easier, I'm not complaining.
And that's the key. It's about using data to enhance the customer experience, not just to bombard them with irrelevant ads.
Okay, so Amazon is a great example of a company that's using data to personalize the shopping experience. What are some other ways businesses are using data to drive their marketing efforts?
Another great example is Spotify.
Oh, I love Spotify. Their Discover Weekly playlist is always so spot on.
That's a perfect example of data-driven personalization in action. Spotify analyzes your listening history, the songs you like, the songs you skip, the artists you follow, and even the time of day you listen to certain genres.
And they use all that information to create customized playlists that are tailored to your individual taste.
Precisely. It's like having a personal DJ who knows exactly what you want to hear.
And it's not just about playlists. They also use data to power their recommendation engine, which suggests new artists and songs you might enjoy based on your listening habits.
It's a fantastic way to discover new music you might not have found otherwise.
It's like they're expanding my musical horizons.
And they're constantly refining their algorithms based on user feedback. So the more you listen, the better their recommendations become.
So both Amazon and Spotify are using data to create personalized experiences that keep customers coming back for more.
They're setting the bar high for other businesses.
But these are both massive companies with tons of resources. Can smaller businesses realistically compete in the data-driven marketing game?
Absolutely. In fact, data can be even more valuable for smaller businesses because it helps them level the playing field.
How so?
They might not have the same volume of data as Amazon or Spotify, but they can still collect and analyze data on their customers to gain valuable insights that inform their marketing strategies.
So it's not just about the quantity of data, but how you use it.
Precisely. A small business might not be able to personalize every single interaction like Amazon, but they can still use data to segment their audience, target their messaging, and track the performance of their campaigns.
Can you give us an example of how a small business might use data effectively?
Sure, imagine you own a local bakery. You could use data from your point of sale system to track which items are selling best and at what times of day.
That makes sense.
You could then use that information to optimize your inventory, adjust your pricing, and even create targeted promotions.
So if you notice that croissants are flying off the shelves on Tuesday mornings,
You could send out an email blast to your customers offering a discount on croissants every Tuesday.
that's a great way to boost sales during a typically slow period.
And it's all based on insights gleaned from your data.
So you don't need some fancy software or a team of data scientists to do this.
Not at all. You can start with something as simple as a spreadsheet
The key is to focus on the data that's most relevant to your business goals.
and use it to make informed decisions.
So data-driven marketing is not just for the big guys.
It's a powerful tool that any business can use to improve their marketing efforts and achieve their goals.
It sounds like we've covered a lot of ground here. We've explored the evolution of marketing, dove deep into the concept of data-driven marketing, and even looked at some real-world examples of how businesses are using data to achieve their goals. Is there anything else we should touch on before we wrap things up?
There is one more important point I think we should address. We talked a lot about the benefits of data-driven marketing, but it's important to remember that data is just one piece of the puzzle.
You're saying we shouldn't get so caught up in the numbers that we forget about the human element of marketing.
Exactly. Data can provide valuable insights, but it's up to us to interpret those insights and translate them into creative and compelling marketing campaigns.
We need to use data to inform our intuition and creativity, not to replace them.
Precisely. The most successful data-driven marketers are those who can blend data with human empathy and understanding.
So it's not about letting the data make decisions for us. It's about using data to make better decisions.
Exactly. They use data to understand their customers' needs and desires, but they also use their creativity and intuition to craft messages that resonate with those needs and desires on an emotional level.
So it's a balance between science and art, between logic and emotion, between data and storytelling.
That's a great way to put it. Data-driven marketing is not just about crunching numbers. It's about connecting with people.
So where do we go from here? How do we take all this information and actually put it into practice?
A great starting point is identifying your key performance indicators or KPIs.
KPIs, those are the metrics that really matter.
Yeah.
The ones that tell you whether or not you're achieving your marketing goals.
Exactly. Are you aiming to boost website traffic, increase social media engagement, or generate leads? Your KPIs should align with your specific objectives.
So if I'm running an e-commerce store, my KPIs might be conversion rates and average order value.
That's a perfect example. Once you've pinpointed your KPIs, the next step is to determine which data sources will help you track them. This might involve website analytics, social media insights, or customer relationship management, CRM data.
Okay, so I'm gathering all this data, tracking my KPIs. What's next? How do I actually use this information to make better marketing decisions?
That's where data analysis comes in. This involves looking for patterns and trends in your data that can help you understand your audience and their behavior.
So I might notice that a certain type of content performs exceptionally well on social media, or that customers who purchase a particular product are more likely to make a repeat purchase.
Exactly. For instance, you might notice that a certain type of content performs exceptionally well on social media, or that customers who purchase a particular product are more likely to make a repeat purchase.
So I can use those insights to create more of the content that's resonating. Maybe even bundle that popular product with other items to encourage those repeat purchases.
Exactly. Data analysis helps you identify opportunities to optimize your marketing efforts. It's like having a roadmap that guides you towards better results.
But data analysis can feel intimidating, especially for someone without a background in statistics or data science.
There are tons of user-friendly tools available that can help you analyze your data without needing a PhD in statistics. Many marketing platforms even have built-in analytics dashboards that make it easy to track your KPIs and visualize your data.
So it's becoming more accessible even for smaller businesses and marketing teams. That's great to hear. So we've talked about gathering data, analyzing it. But how do we actually put those insights to work? What are some specific examples of how data can be used to enhance marketing campaigns?
One powerful application is personalization. We touched on this earlier with Amazon and Spotify, but think about using data to tailor email subject lines, website content, or even ad copy to individual preferences. It can significantly boost engagement.
So instead of sending a generic email blast, I can segment my audience based on their past purchases or website behavior and send them targeted messages that are more likely to resonate.
Exactly. Data-driven personalization makes your marketing more relevant and effective. Another great example is using data to optimize your marketing channels. You might find that certain channels like social media or email marketing are driving more conversions than others.
So I should focus my resources on the channels that are delivering the best results.
Absolutely. It's about allocating your budget and effort where they'll have the biggest impact. Data can also guide your content creation. By analyzing what type of content performs well on your website or social media channels, you can create more of what your audience loves.
So it's not just about creating content that you think is good, it's about creating content that you know your audience will actually engage with. Data helps take the guesswork out of it.
Precisely. It's about making informed decisions based on real insights, rather than relying on gut feeling or assumptions.
This has been incredibly insightful. But before we wrap up, any final thoughts for our listeners on how to embrace the power of data and thrive in this ever-evolving marketing landscape?
Data-driven marketing is not a destination. It's a journey. It's about constantly learning, adapting, and refining your strategies based on the insights you gather. Don't be afraid to experiment, test different approaches, and learn from your mistakes.
And remember, data is a tool, not a dictator. Use it to inform your creativity, deepen your understanding of your customers, and create marketing experiences that are both effective and engaging.
Well said. And remember, the most successful marketers are those who can blend data with a human touch, creating campaigns that are both strategic and emotionally resonant.
Thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us today. This deep dive has been truly enlightening.
It's been a pleasure.
And for our listeners, we hope you found this deep dive valuable. Be sure to join us next time as we delve into the exciting world of digital marketing. See you then.